You know, my favorite day is the day after Halloween, because that's when you see all the sexy girls in the costumes doing the walk of shame back home. I love it. Because a sexy kitten isn't sexy anymore. You know, she's got a broken ear. The sexy bunny is missing a tail. They look like the abused pet commercials from the Sarah McLachlan, you know, like, oh, this sexy cat lost its tail banging a pirate, you know?
Halloween's my favorite holiday. I've never had a good Halloween. I've been punched in the face 6 times in my life. 5 of them have been on Halloween. It's because I like to incorrectly guess people's costumes, and people hate that. They hate it so much. Like last Halloween, I was at a party, and there was a guy dressed as a cat. Like a man dressed as a cat. And I went up to him. I was like, not on my watch. And I went up to him, and I said, what are you supposed to be? A sexy cat? And then he was like, no, just a regular cat. And then I said, then why do I want to suck your right now? And he punched me. What a homophobe. Can't go around punching everyone who has to suck your. We live in America.
The worst thing about Halloween is, of course, candy corn. It's unbelievable to me. Candy corn is the only candy in the history of America that's never been advertised. And there's a reason. All of the candy corn that was ever made was made in 1911. And so, since nobody eats that stuff, every year there's a ton of it left over. And the candy corn company sends the guys to the villages and they collect out of the dumpsters all the candy corn we've thrown away. They wash it, they wash it. I'll never forget the first time my mother gave me candy corn. She said, here, Louis, this is candy corn. It's corn that tastes like candy. Woo-hoo. This tastes like crap. And every year since then, Halloween has returned, and I, like an Alzheimer's patient, find myself in the room, and the room has a table in it, and on the table is a bowl of candy corn. And I look at it as I've never seen it before. Candy corn, I think. Corn that tastes like candy. I can't wait. Son of a bitch!
I don't like scary movies because they scare me. To me, it's like, here's $14. Can I have that bad feeling? I'd like to feel horror. But what I really take issue with are scary movie previews, because that's 2 minutes of condensed horror I didn't sign up for. Sit down with your popcorn all happy. Hear the lady singers out of nowhere. Oh, 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 oh. You're like, this isn't good. There's some pale kid in a dark room drawing with a crayon. That's the worst. Mom walks in. Hey, Billy, what are you drawing? I'm drawing you, Mama. And my new friend, Daryl. Oh, can I see Daryl? Sure, he's right above you. Oh, oh.
I was in college. It was the night before Halloween. And I got a phone call from a friend. He said this. He went, hey, JC, tonight we're going over to Todd's dorm. We're all going to take acid. And then we're going to watch the movie An American Werewolf in London. Do you want to go? And I was like, you had me at acid. I will be there. Got over to Todd's dorm. Me and 10 other college freshmen all took acid for the first time, waited for it to begin affecting us, and then somebody put a horror movie about werewolves into a DVD player. Panic and paranoia consumed the room. One of my buddies convinced himself the combination of the movie and the drugs was going to turn him into an actual werewolf. And he alerted the room by going, guys, I think I'm about to turn into a f***ing werewolf. But I gotta take these Nikes off first. Because my grandma bought them for me. And everyone else was like, oh shit. We're probably all turning into werewolves. From one side of the room, someone was like, why don't we just turn the movie off? Pretty good. Other side of the room, someone was like, it wouldn't matter. We're already infected. Right after he yelled that, started to strip his clothes off. Then it turned into a chain reaction around the room. Now it's a dorm room full of college-age dudes stripping all their clothes off to prevent them from being ruined when we transform into monsters together. Typical Tuesday night, real simple. At this point, I go, someone has to be responsible. So I walked over to the dorm room telephone and I called 911. I got on the phone with a 911 operator and I said into the phone, hello. Me and my friends were on a whole bunch of drugs. And we're all about to turn into werewolves. And without skipping a beat, the lady on the other end of the phone went, honey, tonight's not the full moon. I'm not saying that lady deserves a medal, but she's pretty good at her f***ing job. She calmed me right down. I hung up on her. I'm like, we're gonna be fine, guys. We dodged a real silver bullet on this one.
My mom and I, we go way back. And she's so sweet, but she's like very uncomfortable with anything sexual, okay? I think it's because she's a virgin. But she knows that I like the word boner. It's a silly word, fun activity. And on Halloween last year, she sent me a little card in the mail, you know, like all moms do on Halloween. It said, Happy Halloween, like a little skeleton on the front of it. This is a skeleton. This is also what I look like when I'm trying to look thin and fat out. And then underneath it said, Bon appetit, okay? And then you open it up, and my mom had handwritten in there, or boner appetit to you. No. I think you just told your daughter she's got an appetite for boner. And they do, you know, but I never finish them. So. I just get mine and then I scoot.
I know people love Halloween. I mean, I think that's a lot of people's favorite holiday. I didn't really love it growing up because my parents owned a health food store, so I couldn't get away with Halloween pranks because they owned the health food store, so it was so easy to bust me. You know what I mean? I was the only kid on the block egging houses with those big old brown eggs. Like, you didn't have to be a detective to figure it out. You'd be like, oh, I wonder who tofu'd my mailbox. Is it the same evil genius who filled my bird bath with rice dream? And then broke Akmak crackers over my garden gnome's head? But trick-or-treating, that would have been the ultimate, right? Trick-or-treating could have been the ultimate thing, but then your parents got to give you that safety speech. I think that took some of the fun out of it. You know, you're finally old enough to go trick-or-treating by yourself, and then they got to give you that talk. Like, all right, son, just go door to door and get the candy. That's all you got to do. Just go get the candy. Knock on the door, go to the next house, get more candy, and it's all yours. Get to keep it all. Have fun, get lots of candy. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to tell you, son. Be careful, because the candy might have razor blades in it. Oh my God. What a horrible thing to tell an 18-year-old.
The best kind of movie to take a chick on a date, and y'all love this movie too, is scary movies. That's a good movie. It's very stimulating. You know? But here's how a guy is supposed to get scared in a scary movie. Just like this. Oh! Ah! it going? Come here, girl, let me protect you from these ghosts. And she's like, oh, I gotta protect me. That's how you're supposed to get scared. I don't get scared, I get scared. I took this chick to see this movie called Insidious. It was irresponsibly scary. I had to write a letter, Dear Insidious. Tone this shit down, dude. It was like, she was sitting here, and there was a dude sitting here with a girl, and I was holding on to his jacket like, oh my God. This is, run, bitch. And listen, I know he was scared because he was looking at me like, get in here, dog, get in here. Stop messing around, put the armrest up and get in here, man. It was scary, you know what I mean? Now, two things scare me in a movie, two things, all right? One, when people on screen aren't dealing with their circumstances in a timely fashion. And two, little white kids doing demon-y shit. I'm out when that start happening. Like when little white boys start doing this. Mommy. I'm in the theater like, what in the hell is going on? This little what? Nobody see the white boy? Nobody see him? Let some little white girls start jump roping in the front yard. 1, 2, we gonna kill you. Why these little bitches double dutching right now? Why they double dutching? This ain't the game, you know? Insidious had all this. It had all of it. Now, the reason why you get scared is because we know something is about to happen. They should know something is about to happen. And they're acting in a manner in which nothing is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we're at an advantage, though. We're at an advantage because what's the tip that something is about to happen? The music. That sustained string. You're like, oh, something gonna happen. We need that in real life. That'd be awesome. You know, you walking in a parking lot late at night. Who out here? I meet some crazy chicks. They go, hi, I'm Samantha. Yeah, I gotta actually go, Samantha. Funny thing is, women wouldn't even listen to the noise. You know how y'all are. They'd be, ooh, so you live with your mother? I can't. You're between this noise is so loud, I can't even. Y'all make bad decisions. All right, so let me tell you about this date. So I'm sitting in the movie, right? Now there's the chick is sitting at a piano. Her baby's upstairs. There's a baby monitor on the piano. The baby monitor starts to go like this. And she wants to go like this. Get your baby, bitch. You not gonna get your baby? I mean, I'm in the theater like, this chick is not gonna get her baby, everybody. Everybody hear that on the thing? Is it just me? Hello? Who are you talking to? Your baby 1 year old. The baby finally starts crying after 5 minutes. She throws the thing down and she runs upstairs. There's literally a demon standing next to the crib like this. Ah! She swoops up her baby. Go downstairs. You think she'll leave the house? I'm walking in the theater. This bitch is not gonna leave the house. Demon in the house, but she not gonna leave the house. She waiting for her husband to come home. I would have had a note on the door, demon in house. Best of luck to you. Baby is upstairs.